the voice inside my head. Oh my gosh, did you guys see? Did you guys see when we did the Nerf dart thing? I'm trying to talk really not excitedly so that Kevin doesn't run away instantly like he's been. Hey, did you guys see on Instagram when I posted the video about the Nerf dart singing that song? I can't play the actual song because I'm going to get demonetized, but you should go to the video right now. Here, I'll play a little bit of it. Don't waste your time on me. You're already the voice inside my head. Miss you, miss you. Okay, just do the opening credits thing. Play the song. What's up, guys? It's episode 46. You know, this is where it's not good to be an anxious person because, like, I know episode 50 is right around the corner. It's right around the corner. It's coming up. And I'm like, Riley, chill. Riley, hey, we're trying to get Kevin to stay, okay? Because he hasn't been wanting to stay lately. Look, he's already leaving. So the thing, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So as an anxious person, I know that episode 50 is coming up. It's come right around the corner, just around the river bend. Episode 50 is just around the river bend. So I got to do something for it, right? Like in my head, I'm like, I got to celebrate 50 episodes. But then I'm like, what should I do? I got to plan that now. I got to figure it out. It's going to be a disaster if I don't plan it. Kevin's already gone. This whole podcast episode's falling apart. The whole show's just a complete disaster. Actually, the show's exactly what I wanted it to be. I always wanted this show to be very, just like unplanned Wayne's World tomfoolery, and that's really what it's become. And thank you guys for tuning in every week. I'm a little low energy today, so I'm gonna try to come on, wow, I really just slapped myself. That didn't feel good. I don't feel like I have any more energy because of that. Why do they do that in movies? What's up, girl Kevin? How you living? Guys, the reason I started out the show with the Blink song is because I'm going to see Blink 182 tonight. I'm going to see Blink 182 tonight at T-Mobile Arena, T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I got to tell you, this is real big for me. That's why I got the Blink 182 shirt on. And actually, that's a big topic of discussion right there. Is it cool in this day and age to wear a band's shirt to their concert? So I never really thought much about this until it happened to me on a podcast. So I was on a podcast. It was a video game podcast many years ago with somebody from a website that I know never liked me. I'm not going to say more than that. But I worked with this individual for several years, and I was on a podcast with them, and they're nice. I've already said too much because now you'll figure it out. But anyway, he's great, but I don't think he ever liked me, and that's fine. I'm not for everybody. I'm an acquired taste. But anyway, I was super, super excited to go on this podcast and talk about how I had worn custom Gears of War earrings to a Gears of War 3 E3 party. It was like an exclusive Gears of War 3 party. I got invited because your girl's exclusive like that, and your girl's VIP like that. Very important person. Very, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But in that circle at that time, I was a VIP, very important person. So I got into the party, and I wore my custom Gears of War 3 earrings to the Gears of War exclusive release party, or whatever the hell it was. Keenan was there, I think. Was Keenan there? Kevin left the podcast set to go into his litter box and start pooping. Very on brand for him. Anyway, I think Thompson was there, but I'm not really sure. But anyway, I wore custom Gears of War earrings from Etsy, I think. The details are starting to get a little cloudy. From Etsy to the Gears of War 3 party at E3 many years ago, and I was super stoked about it. And I'm like ready to talk about it on this podcast. And like one of the first questions this person asked me was like, So you wore these Gears of War 3 earrings to the Gears of War 3 party. Isn't that kind of lame? Kind of like wearing a band's t-shirt to their concert? My voice cracked while I asked that because I was already so filled with rage just thinking about it that my voice is like, I'm out. I can't even complete the sentence. I'm going to say it one more time. Is wearing the Gears of War earrings to the Gears of War party kind of as lame as wearing a band's t-shirt to the band's performance? And immediately I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, I was excited to talk about this because I was super into like video game fashion. And at the time it wasn't as easy to get. Like, you had to really search like Etsy and like specific artists to like get cool video game shirts for females and like jewelry. And so all that kind of stuff. It was like, it wasn't as common as it is now. You couldn't just go on Amazon and, just get cool stuff. Like, you had to search it out. That's why like Cosplay Closet or From Closet to Cosplay or something, like those old websites. Like my friend Caitlin used to talk all about like video game fashion. It was like a big deal back then because we as like female gamers, we didn't really have a lot of options. We had a lot of oversized t-shirts with video game logos on them that we were trying to cut up and like make cute. Do you remember Dodger? I don't know if you were in the video game scene, but like Dodger, she was so awesome. She like had this whole series of like how to turn oversized video game shirts into like small sizes for like cute girls. I mean like small, but like smaller girls. Like, oh, you're a small gamer girl, and all you're getting are these giant oversized T-shirts from all these video game expos or from wherever. Like, here's how to cut them down and like make them cute. I'm all over the place today. But anyway, where was I at? Yeah, okay. So I was excited to talk about this jewelry, and immediately it's like, isn't that super lame? And I'm just like, I'm gonna go. I want to go. I want to leave immediately. But no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It was fine. I didn't stab anybody. I was totally fine. And me and this person had a great relationship, even though I don't think he ever liked me. But anyway, so that was like the first time that I was like, wait a minute, it's lame to wear a band's shirt to the band's show? It didn't even like occur to me. I didn't really go to a lot of concerts growing up. It's just like, I didn't really have a lot of friends. I was going to say I didn't have a lot of friends who went to concerts, but the truth is I didn't really have a lot of friends. So I didn't have a lot of friends who went to concerts because I didn't have a lot of friends in general. Oops. But yeah, so then after that comment was made, I went to my friends and I was like, hey, my friends at the time, I'm like, hey, is it like lame to wear like a band's shirt to their show? And they're like, oh yeah, everybody knows that. That's like a thing. So I was like, okay, great. So then through the years, I just kind of thought that was the case. But nowadays, I feel like when I go to concerts, I'm seeing everybody in the band's shirt all the time. And I think it's fine. Also, because I saw a meme that was like the merch booth at concerts is kind of like the Scholastic Book Fair for adults. I thought that was great. Because now, like, band shirts are starting to get, like, they're so cool, right? Like, you'll go to the merch stand at a concert, and you'll get, like, there'll be, like, really cool designed shirts. Some that don't even have the band's logo slathered across the front. You know what I mean? Like, I actually like that better. I like when you get, like, a band shirt that just has, like, their subtle, like a logo that represents them, right? So you got Blink. Obviously, this has their name on it, but the Blink has the smiley face with the X eyes. Like, I like a shirt that has like just that on it, but doesn't say like Blink 182. Like, Royal Blood's another band that we really like, and they had this one shirt that like just had this giant like jellyfish on it because that was what they were using on their album at the time. The Killers do that a lot. There's lots of bands that do that, and I like that so much better. So I kind of like going to a concert and seeing all the other t-shirts that the other fans are wearing, so I can be like, oh man, like that one was from Denver 2004. Oh my gosh, that one was from the Arkansas 2019. I can't believe you went to that show. It's almost like a cool badge of honor now if you're wearing a show from a specific date, right? Like we got the like those Taylor Hawkins shirts when we went to the Taylor Hawkins tribute concerts. We got like 3 or 4 shirts, and you wouldn't believe the conversations that start based on these shirts. Like, people will see the shirt and be like, oh my gosh, like you went to that show? And I would love to wear that to like any Foo Fighters show, because instantly like you connect with people like, oh my gosh, you went to the show? I went to the show. You went to that show? So I don't know. Is it like is it a specific genre of music that it's not cool? Because I could see like the heavy metal fans, right? You could see heavy metal being like, don't wear our shirt to our show. I say that, and my band is a metal band, and we wear our own shirts on stage. So not only are we breaking the rule of not... You're not supposed to wear a band shirt to the show. We wear our own shirts on stage while we're performing. And then we sell them to you. We're modeling them. We're basically modeling them. But anyway, basically what I'm getting at is that this is a cool shirt, and it's got the Blink-182 self-titled album logo on the front of the shirt, and I bought it at Hot Topic. I did not buy it at a concert. But is it cool if I wear it to the show, or am I a big square? Am I a big square, right? Am I a big dumb lame? I don't want to be a big dumb lame. All of life is just trying to figure out what is big, dumb, and lame, and how to not do that, right? Like, we all just want to be cool. Life's about being cool, and I fail at that most of the time. But anyway, that's why Blink-182 is significant to me. And you can all be out there and be like, Blink-182 sucks. First of all, they know. They call themselves crappy punk rock. And I think that's the best part of Blink-182, is that from the beginning, they've never taken themselves too seriously. They've always just had so much fun with it and not really cared so much. That I was going to say they cared so much that it ended up ruining the music, but I guess it did they did break up for a while, so I don't really know about that. But anyway, yeah, I was a very, very big dumb lame kid. I was very lame, and I pretty much only listened to Broadway soundtracks and the Sailor Moon soundtrack. Fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight. Yeah, so I listened to a lot of Broadway, and I listened to a lot of Sailor Moon, and I would listen to classic rock whenever my dad had it on, just because that's what he listened to, and so I also like listening to that. But none of my friends like classic rock, and when I say my friends, I mean like the two friends that I had. I really didn't have a lot of friends growing up. But I remember I had this best friend, and she and I did theater together, and we were total theater nerds, and that's why we connected. Hold on, I need my water. We were in, oh my gosh, I have to tell you this. This is so funny. We were in Cinderella together, and I played the lizard. Bet you didn't know Cinderella had a lizard. Well, guess what? You're looking at her. I was the lizard. I think that's when they want they want all the kids to have a role, but then they run out of roles, so they just start creating characters. We don't have any mice left, but you could be a lizard that the mice hang out with. And you can have a dance solo. How about that? So I was a lizard with a dance solo. I had a massive tail, which made the dance solo very difficult. I mostly look like a dinosaur. If I have the picture, I will show it. It's hideously ugly, but it was super fun. It was a really fun show, and she was my best friend. And so my best friend at the time, she like one day out of the blue, she just kind of like started wearing skater stuff, like skater shoes with the big puffy, those puffy skater shoes. She's wearing big puffy skater shoes. She was like, I think she was skateboarding, and she was listening to, hey, don't chew on those cords. Gosh, I'm going to watch Girl Kevin get electrocuted right in front of my eyes. Do not chew on that. Psst. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. It's me, Estelle. What's going on with my voice today? So one day she kind of just like was showing up in like different clothes, and she was kind of like acting like different. And then she was like listening to different music. And I'm like, what's going on here? You're becoming cool before my eyes, but I thought that you and I had kind of this silent agreement that we were both going to not be cool, and we were both going to be kind of like ugly theater kids, right? That was kind of like an unspoken pact that we were going to live and die by. I thought that was a thing we agreed upon silently. Wink, wink, I thought. But she's like, I'm cool now. And I listen to Blink-182. And I'm like, what is that? What is that? Is that a new Broadway show? It was not a new Broadway show. She's like, just listen to this. And she played me Blink-182. And at first I was very hesitant, But I got into it real quick. I think First Date was like the first song that like really hooked me. I'm like, this slaps. We didn't say this slaps back in the day. That wasn't slang that we used. I don't even know what we were saying. That's boss. Were we saying boss back then? I don't really know, but I thought it was very boss. It was boss music. And so that's when I started listening to Blink-182. And that's when I started to try to dress like a skater. And I started to be cool. And I got into punk rock because was playing Tony Hawk. And when you play Tony Hawk, then it's the best education for punk rock you'll ever have in your life. It's the best soundtrack in any video game. And then, I was suddenly kind of becoming cool a little bit. So I feel like Blink-182 was kind of like my gateway drug into being cool. Oh my gosh, if I could see, like even now I'm just like, I wasn't cool. I felt cool though, right? I felt cool and I was kind of fitting in with crowds that I didn't fit in with before because of my newfound fashion sense and music taste. And I enjoyed that. And so, I don't know, I just kind of kept listening to Blink through the years. And even when they broke up, I was actually a really big fan of the Skiba years when Matt Skiba from, what is his band? Oh my gosh, TJ Maxx, can you just play? Actually, I want to play TJ Maxx in reverse. Can you play the TJ Maxx song in reverse while I look this up? I hope that sounded like a demon summoning. Matt Skiba was with Alkaline Trio. Alkaline Trio. So Tom left Blink-182 to like go find aliens or something, a worthy cause like that. And Matt Skiba stepped in and they did 2 albums. Who is texting me during my podcast? Cool. An election. I don't want to vote. Stop. I don't want to know. Stop. I hate these political texts. How did they get my number? Stop texting me. We're not friends. It's probably the only text I'm gonna get all day. No, I'm actually very popular. I'll get upwards of 3 texts today. But what was I talking about? Yeah, so Matt Skiba joined Blink-182 and they made California and 9, 2 albums that are phenomenal. They're so phenomenal. They have a little bit of that, a lot of bit of that tongue-in-cheek humor of Blink-182, but a lot of the other songs almost feel like a more mature type of punk rock. It almost feels like they kind of grew up and like we grew up and we're all not just singing about jacking off all the time, like we're singing about adult type problems and reminiscing about the past and regrets and stuff like that. And so I was like really enjoying those albums. I thought, I guess this is my Blink-182. And when they were doing those albums, they had a couple shows in Vegas that I went to see. I went to go see them when it was Travis and Mark Hoppus and Matt Skiba, right? So not the original Blink-182, but it was the Blink-182 at the time. And it was great. It was such a great show. And Mark was hopping around the stage doing his bass guitar thing. And it was great. But again, it wasn't the original Blink. So obviously, when Blink got back together, I was very, very excited. The whole internet was excited. Everybody was making fun of us. Oh, look at the friggin' geriatric punk fans. Whatever. Like, we were so excited that it was happening. And now they're coming to Vegas tonight, and I'm going to go. And I've never seen them before. I've never seen Tom DeLonge. I've never seen Tom with Mark, with Travis, all together, singing the songs that I love that turned me into an actual cool kid. Big asterisk, probably wasn't that cool, but it made me feel cool at the time. So I'm super excited to kind of like go back to my childhood tonight and go see Blink. So that was me ranting about a band for a very long time. And that's not even what I was going to talk about today. I was going to talk about the time that I hid a ferret from my grandmother for a month. So how did this start? Oh yeah, Sin City Santa. He's my friend on Instagram, and he does like Santa stuff all over Henderson and Las Vegas. He's the nicest guy in the whole world. He's the one that built our mic stands. Have you seen our mic stands for Von Bolt that are like chains, and one has like a skeleton on it? It's so badass. I can't even stand it. And he made them because he's talented like that. And he was mentioning to me that he has some ferrets, and I was like, oh, I used to have a ferret, and just saying that was like, all the memories just rushing back to me. It's like, oh my gosh, I used to have a ferret that I hid from a lot of people. So it all started when me and my best friend Cassie, we were living at Coeur d'Alene Lake. And I lived in Idaho several different times, never like full time. Like I'd spend like a summer in Coeur d'Alene, and then I'd spend a couple months in Moscow living with my grandma and blah, 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 blah. Which is funny, side note, I posted that video, that Star Wars video where it's talking about Moscow, Idaho. And I was like, I grew up in a small town. Well, I mean, I kind of grew up there. Like I didn't live there permanently, but I was constantly there because my grandparents were there. So I spent a lot of time in a small town, Moscow, Idaho, and they only had, I say in the video, we only had one mall, and, it had this hot topic that I would keep going back to try to find Star Wars stuff, and people, like, completely ignore the message of the video, which was that, like, I was such a Star Wars fan as a young female, but at that time I couldn't find any nerd stuff in female sizes. So it was like, the point of the video is that it's cool that like now all female nerds are being embraced, and you can be a female Star Wars nerd and get all the cool shirts and stuff that you want. It's everywhere. But people completely ignore that, and they're like, it's not a small town if you had a mall and a hot topic. Oh my gosh. And I try to explain to them, I'm like, okay, so first of all, shut up. How about that? First of all, chill out. Okay. I had also like just lived in LA. So like going from LA to Moscow, yeah, it was a very big difference. And by one mall, I don't mean like a mega mall like we have in cities. I mean, it was like the crappiest strip mall you've ever seen in your life, where like half the stores were just abandoned, right? Like half of them, those gates that they roll down in shopping malls, like at the end of the day, that makes you feel like you're in a prison, like when it goes ka-choom, and they're like, get out of the mall, everything's closed. Malls are already super creepy, right? There's already like not very many people in like malls these days. That mall was always super creepy and like empty, and like mostly just full of old women just walking up and down the strip mall for exercise, mall walkers, But there was like a hot topic. I don't know why, but there was. It wasn't a great one. But yeah, just for all the people who are just like, it's not a small town if you had a shopping mall. Like, shut up. He's at the point of the story. So anyway, yes, I do know what a small town is. For all the people who are just like, you don't even know. Gosh, people on the internet have been really bugging me lately. It's when you have these videos that get a lot of views and these idiots come out of the woodwork and just want to get under your skin. But I'm fine, totally fine. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I was living in Idaho. I was living on Coeur d'Alene Lake with my best friend Cassie. And we were like 19, 20, definitely drinking out by the lake or not of age, doing Idaho Lake things, right? And one afternoon, we decided to drive into the city of Coeur d'Alene because we would just wanted to be crazy. We were like, let's go to the city and let's do some shopping and let's go to Starbucks and let's just like big girls. And so I don't know how it happened, but it kind of like escalated where we were like, what if we bought some expensive shoes? I don't know. What if we bought a guitar? What if we bought a ferret? And then we just decided to buy a ferret just on a whim. We bought a ferret on a whim. I don't really know why, like what spurred this conversation. Did we, I don't remember if we went into a Petco, saw a ferret and was like, we'll take that one. I don't even know if that happened. I think, did we just think about it in the car and we're like, we need a ferret. Somebody, can we look up a ferret store? We couldn't even look up anything. We didn't have smartphones back then. So I think we were just driving around till we saw Petco or PetSmart and we're just like, you guys got any ferrets? And then we just bought a ferret. The stupidest thing in the world. But we loved that ferret. I have a picture of us with like the paperwork, like bringing her home. She was so cute. She had like these razor fangs and sharp little claws. And she would bite like, she was like kind of like a baby, I think. But her name was Daiquiri. We called her Dacky. She was so cute. But I didn't want to tell my grandma. I was living with my grandma at the time in her basement. I didn't really want to tell her because I thought maybe she'd be mad. So I hid her in the closet. I had like It's like in those teen movies when like there's a boy in your room and then the girl's like, "Hey, get in the closet. My parents are coming." And then she like closes the door and she's like, "Nothing to see here. There's no one in my closet." Well, there was somebody in my closet. It was a small furry rodent named Dacky. And every time my grandma came down the stairs, I would like lunge for the closet doors and like close them and hope that Dacky didn't make any sound. Because usually, Dacky, they kind of like ferrets, they kind of squeak, right? They're like, they kind of squeak when they get excited. And I was just like, "Dacky, don't squeak. Dacky, don't squirk." And my grandma would just kind of come down and be like, "Oh, okay, just get in your laundry." And I'm like, "Grandma, you don't have to do my laundry. I can do my own laundry." "I'm just, okay. Do you want any ice cream?" "Yes, Grandma, I do want ice cream." "Yes, don't do my laundry, but get me ice cream." "Okay, I'll do your laundry." "Grandma, that's not what I said." No, she was the best lady in the whole world. I miss my grandma. But yeah, so for like a month, like I was hiding this ferret. But the problem is that more family members would come to stay with my grandma on the lake like during that month. So I kept having to hide it from more and more people. I had to hide it from like my Aunt Vicky. I had to hide it from like my, who else? Like my Aunt Marianne. Like I kept having to like hide it. And then finally it was my Uncle Stan who was like, "What do you got in the closet?" And I'm like, "Don't even, what closet?" He's like, "What do you got in the closet, Lisa?" I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So he opens the closet and there's the cage with the ferret and it just reeks, right? Like that's probably what tipped everybody off eventually. It probably tipped Uncle Stan off. It was like, it probably just smelled like ferret in that small basement. And he's just like, "Lisa, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Don't tell Grandma. Don't tell Grandma." Well, we told Grandma and she was fine with it. And everybody thought that Dacky was super gross and creepy. But I was like, no, she's part of the family. So she was part of the family for a while. And I had like this purse that I carried her around in. And I had like these hoodies and like, the front pocket of hoodies. My ferret Dacky would like get in there and like snuggle and like chill out and like sleep in there. It was awesome. And then I moved to Oregon and I wasn't allowed to have them in my apartment. So again, every time anybody from the apartment had to come to my place, I like threw a blanket over the cage and like put furniture in front of it. And I was like, "Nothing to see over here. Why don't we just stay in the kitchen area and not go into this room?" So that was a fun couple years of hiding a rodent from a lot of people. But obviously I no longer have Dacky, but I think Kevin would have really liked Ferret Kevin. I could have named her Ferret Kevin. But yeah, don't get a ferret. You can if you want. I love my ferret. And the fun fact, if you hold ferrets by the back of the neck, there's some kind of trigger back there that they yawn. I don't know if there's video of this, but you like hold, you know how mama cats hold up kittens by the back of their neck, like, if you do that to a ferret, they just go, "I think I'm in a nap now." They could be just like so excited, like, and then you grab them like, I am actually kind of sleepy, which is really fun. But yeah, no, they smell, and also they poop in corners, which is weird. Their litter boxes are all shaped like corners because for some reason they just like back up into the corner and they do their business there, and then they scurry away. And I don't know what that's about. I don't know why ferrets can only poop in corners, but good for them, because you could always find where the poop was in the house. Oh, but anyway, I'm going to go over to Sin City Santa's house. I'm going to play with those ferrets because I miss having ferrets. I think I'm going to trade in Kevin for a ferret. That seems like a good idea. Dude, I came back from Disneyland a couple days ago and Kevin was nowhere to be found. Kevin was gone. Honest to God, I almost started crying. I was like losing my mind. I was like, Kevin, where are you? Kevin, that desperately, Kevin, where are you? And I was looking everywhere. I was looking under every bed. I got legitimately scared. I thought Kevin was gone forever. And I started thinking, I was like, I'm going to have to do a memorial episode. Like, what am I going to do? I miss him so much. And then he just eventually walked out from under the bed, just with the worst bedhead you've ever seen in your life. Like he hasn't showered in years. Have you ever showered even once? No, just looking awful. Worse than he usually does. It's hard to believe, I know. And he's just like, oh, hey guys, you guys left? Oh, hey Mark. He's totally just like, I didn't even know you guys were gone. Oh, what's up? I'm like, bro. And then instantly I just cussed him out. I'm like, you motherfucking piece of shit. I was so mad. I went from one extreme emotion to the other. I was distraught that my cat was gone. But then my cat showed up. Angrier I've ever been. Angrier than I've ever been. Angriest, can I say it again? Distraught because my cat was gone. My cat shows up. Angriest I've ever been in my life. So mad. Ready to kick him. Ready to see how far I could kick him. I was so mad. I didn't kick him. I would never. Wanted to. I would never. But anyway, he's here and he's safe. And we're not going to do a memorial episode yet. But he is old, right? You're kind of old. How old are you? Kevin's in the, he's got to be like 10 years old or something. How long do cats live? Can you play the Wii just for a second while I look this up? 12 to 18 years? You could live to be 18? God, how do we speed up this process? Anyway, no, I love Kevin. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. It's episode 48. Everything's been amazing. And Kevin showed up right at the end. He knows that I like it when he hangs out for the whole episode, and so he waited till right at the end to come and hang out, and that's totally just his nature like that. And that's why I hate him, but also I love him. Okay, bye you guys. I hope you do live to be 18. But don't do that thing where like you're so old that you just like shit yourself all the time. Don't do that.